Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin and today we are going to be doing quite a fun one to look into your soul's purpose, calling, and mission and see how you can really interact with your soul at this time to bring that forward. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits and everyone who is new and joining us here for the very first time. We are going to be looking into your soul's purpose, mission, calling, all those different words to really get to the same thing. And we're really looking into what your soul is being called towards. What is it trying to tell you at this time and trying to move you towards and persuade you towards? And this is definitely going to be used more as a tool. I think all of these readings that I do on this channel should definitely be used as a tool, but I do want you to know that your soul may be calling you towards a certain thing, but that doesn't mean that you have to take it, or it doesn't mean that you have to go towards it, so this is definitely changeable. This is something that you can use as a tool, as a way of seeing what your soul is being called towards, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to take that path. At the end of the day, this is all up to you, but this just gives you the empowerment to move your next step forward with a more empowered mind and a clear perspective. But before we get started here, I do want to say hello again to all those new subscribers that have come in recently. I've gained almost 100 subscribers this month, and that's literally never happened. And so I really want to welcome you guys to the Kindred Spirit community, because I don't love to call you guys just subscribers. You are much more to me, and I hope that you can really find yourself and your place within this channel and within this community, because it's a very special one, and I really do see you all as individuals and people who are really growing and working through your own self-growth and your own empowerment. So if you want to see more of the readings that I have here and you aren't subscribed, then feel free to subscribe. But if you are recently subscribed or you've been here since the very beginning, I just want to say thank you to everyone, and just that I really do see you and I feel seen as well. So truly thank you for all the support and the love and the comments and the likes, and the people also who have checked out my snail mail readings to support me even more financially. I just really appreciate you all. So thank you for taking your time for joining this beautiful community. And before I ramble on with all the love, I'm going to go ahead and start diving into your guys' piles. So starting here with pile number 1, we have this piece of crystal clear quartz. I absolutely love this piece. It has so much personality to it. It has these rougher pieces, lighter pieces, and then if you get even closer, hopefully right here in the center, there's all these beautiful little cracks. It looks like ice. So that is pile number 1. For pile number 2 here, we have a piece of selenite. It's a little selenite palm stone with this beautiful mandala on it, like a flower that's been kind of engraved or etched into it. It's got such a gentle but very light energy. So that is pile number 2. And then lastly here, for pile number 3, we have more crystal clear quartz, but in this case, it's like this cave of wonders almost, in a way, in a little geode. It's absolutely stunning in there, lots of beauty. So that is pile number 3. So before you go ahead and choose your pile, I think it's really important with this specific reading to really connect with your soul, really ground yourself down, and take a cleansing breath with me. So let's go ahead and take a deep cleansing breath together here now. So feel free to choose any of the piles that really call to you. As always, you can choose 1 pile, 2 piles, all 3 piles. Choose a pile, flip-flop, change your mind. There really is no right or wrong way. There's also the timestamps down in the description below, as well as within the chapter marks of the video. And before you head off to your pile, like I said, this is just a tool, so definitely just see what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I also want to just remind you also to subscribe, like the video, check out the snail mail readings that I have for personal private readings. And then also my Instagram community is poppin', and I love to see you guys there. I connect with so many of you there, so if you definitely want to see more of what I'm up to for my magic, for my spirituality, for the other readings and things that I do and provide, then definitely check that out down below. But yeah, with all of that said, we're going to get started with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this piece of crystal quartz with the 1 point, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set it right here for you, but do feel free to start settling down, grab some water, a cup of tea, or a cozy blanket, or put on, some cozy pajamas. I don't know, whatever really makes you feel really comfortable and cozy, because we're going to be going through a lot of different messages here, and I want you to be able to really settle and take them in. So today we are going to be using a lot of different things. We're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using a couple different oracle decks, which I will have listed down below in the description. We're also going to be using letter tiles today. I haven't pulled these out in a while, so I'm excited about those. And then also we're going to be using the Everyday Witch Tarot, because I've been feeling super called to this one, and I even edged it the other day. So those of you who were curious about how it turned out, there you are with all the beautiful orange. So let's go ahead and start looking into your soul's purpose, what you're being called to at this time. This is subject to change, and it's something that you can obviously rewrite with your soul over time, but this is just the calling that it has. Like if you were gonna phone your soul right now, these are the messages that are coming in. So let's see what your soul is trying to lead you towards right now, group 1. Where are you guys needing to be headed? Because your soul is just yearning for whatever it is that's going to come up here. So let's see your soul's true purpose, true calling. Group 1, group 1. Group 1, group 1. Okay, so first off, we have the tower. I even was visualizing the tower while I was doing this. I just could feel that you guys are going to have the tower show up here. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus today, but here we are with the tower, with the number 16. But let's see what else is coming in. The tower, like I said, was already coming into my mind, but what I love is the imagery of the tower in this specific deck. It just has this feeling of you created this on purpose, you wanted that tower to fall. So we're going to see how that kind of lines up with the rest of your reading here. So group 1, and feel free to send your energy through time and space here. We also have the 10 of Wands showing up here as well. So there you are with the 10 of Wands, a bit of an uphill battle, but I almost feel because your soul's calling towards this uphill battle, it's almost where sometimes this card can talk about feeling overwhelmed, although that can be possible because sometimes our soul wants us to go towards something and our mind wants something else, so there can be that push and pull. But I really think that this uphill battle just shows how much your soul is wanting to work really hard this time around. If you think of past lives and the idea of having multiple lives or multiple realities going on, this specific reality, you're ready to I feel you guys are just go-getters, or you're ready to just really take on that challenge, or at least your soul is feeling we are ready, we are going to do this, they just want to take it on. Kind of a feisty energy as well. So let's see what else for you, group 1. Interesting energy already. Group 1. We also have the 2 of Pentacles, so there is still a need for balance between all of this, but we do have the 2 of Pentacles, the Tower, and the 10 of Wands. I might pull more tarot cards later on, but I do want to go ahead and start going into the oracle cards and see what we have there. So feel free to send your energy in. Wow, this one is just... Okay, so we have protection. Boundaries is what I immediately heard, and then the idea of protecting even a family or some sort of change happening within something you want to create or birth into the world, right? Something new. I think your soul's just craving something new and fresh because of this tower moment. It's what it's kind of bringing me here to. We're going to use the secret garden here and see what else there is. So group Group 1. And as always, I think it's important you guys take a moment to really look and evaluate these cards and see which ones are calling to you, if there's specific imagery, because I think there's always those little hidden things that are very specific to you, especially since these are collective readings. So, group 1. Right, so we have bloom and attract more butterflies. That's really pretty. So we have bloom here with a little flower in the corner. Actually, it's a bird. I thought it was a flower, but it's a little bird here, chilling in the corner there. So yeah, we've got bloom and protection. So again, more of that energy, like you're trying to birth something in the world, trying to bloom something from nothing. You may have had like some difficult moments in your life, and your soul is taking this as like a total adventure. And when I say difficult moments, it could be things that are more physical, is what I'm seeing here, because of the pentacles and then the wands, and the idea of the tower literally falling. But I do think that like you are ready to rebuild in this lifetime. I think that maybe a previous lifetime that your soul has gone through, so much didn't go well, and it's like, we're gonna just change this around. Ooh, we also have the cat here. So this talks about friendships, relationships in your life. It wants to focus on the deck over here. So we have the little kitty cat. It has 18 as well as the 10 of hearts here. So we have another 10 showing up here with more contentment this time. But we're going to go ahead and get your final message here, although I may pull more as we go. But do stay tuned later on, because we're going to look into the charms as well as the letter cast, which will give us even more information. So wow, okay, so we've got look for the signs and listen before you act. Wow, look and listen. It feels like, you're at like a bus stop or something, or you're about to cross the road, and it's like look and listen, look and listen. But here you are with the 2 that you got. We have look for the signs and listen before you act. Okay. So much green and so much blue. Wow, okay. So we're going to go ahead and start diving in here, group 1. Okay, so the very first things that I wanted to talk about, there's a couple of different messages here. It's not like one specific like soul purpose, soul mission, and I don't think that's like putting you in a box, and I don't think you want to be put in a box. But the things that I do see is this idea of protecting your friendships and blooming and making people bloom. Trying to bring people out of hardships is what I'm also seeing. So I do see this element of like wanting to be of service for other people, wanting to protect other people, wanting to, advocate for other people, or just really be that cheerleader for others. You want to be able to bring balance back to this world, because I do think that, like I said, I feel like in a previous life, and you can take this however it fits, it could be a previous lifetime, or it could just be previous energy that you've had in your own life, like your current lifetime, where maybe you grew up maybe with less money or a more toxic environment, or just certain things just really weren't lining up as you grew up. And as you've gone through life, those hardships have really, instead of hardening you, I feel like for some people it can harden people. Your soul just like took this as just like food for thought, right? It's just like, I'm going to take this and use it and revamp it and retransmute this energy. And you're really good at doing that. But here we have the tower, right? And so this tower, you can see she's got like this little like mischievous look. Like she did this, she blew up this tower. And the tower represents change and evolution, and also the idea that a foundation that wasn't working, so possibly this previous lifetime or this previous situation that you were in, where things were just really not working. It was on very shaky ground. Caused a lot of hardship, a lot of uphill battle, but I think that your soul is using this as fuel to move you forward versus holding you back. And I think it wants to, if you're currently in this situation, then this is what you're going to get out of it. But if you've gone through this situation previously, this is what your soul is being called to now, because I think instead of staying in this mindset or staying in this idea, you're like, okay, I'm going to just okay, finances aren't working, fine, I'll get a new job. This isn't working, fine, I'm going to find a way to balance. Your soul is constantly being called to find and refocus balance. So we have here the Two of Pentacles. You crave balance, you crave finding balance, and you like to balance other people out too. I think that you're a really good counterpart to other people, especially since we have this little cat coming on here, right? You just take those challenges as an opportunity versus as a downfall. You'll just have those uphill battles. But then the thing that I do really like also that you have coming in here is this idea of protection. And I also really like protection in this specific card because it does showcase the earth, like you're protecting something you want to birth to the universe, as in maybe just something on a very personal level to you, a project that you're working on, a family that you want to create, whatever really resonates like deeply when I say these words, like if it's family, if it's career, if it's your job, wherever that like big calling is, there is this need to protect it. And it can be something as big as like advocating or as working nonprofit stuff. I do see like a lot of volunteer work, honestly. I do see like a lot of ideas of like working for something that it doesn't have to always be advocating, but just something that is like to protect other people or to work with other people, possibly a therapist or something like that, where you just really want to help people. Like you're not doing it for the money, you're not doing the things that you're doing for gain for yourself. You're doing it because it helps balance you out and it helps to lift other people up so they don't have to have as many hardships, right? You want to protect them, you want to help them. And sometimes that's with I was just hearing like hard work. Like I think that you don't want to just protect them like a hover mom where like they just want to keep everything perfect and safe. Like I think you want to teach them as well. You don't just want to like put people out there and try to make the world like this bubble. I think you want to protect them, but with like kind of tough love in a more loving way, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense with these words. I feel like there's a word I'm looking for and I can't find it. But basically the reason why I'm thinking other people as well is because it does say to attract more butterflies when you bloom, and then we have like these butterfly sort of angelic wings. So I think you attract a lot of people into your life, and you are, whether you want that or not, your soul does feel attracted towards other people and wanting to help other people, protect other people, and especially your friends or your family, the people that you're most close with, right? Because we do have the the 10 of Hearts happening down here, which talks about a lot of contentment, feeling very at ease, feeling very fulfilled when you are around your friends. So you may be introverted, but you also could be super extroverted as well for this card. I think it doesn't really matter either way because your soul, regardless, does enjoy social activity, whichever way that works for you. If you are introverted, obviously take the time off that you need, but there is this like idea of socializing with really close friends. It's really important. Your soul doesn't want a bunch of people around you. You know, you can have that within your job, your career, within your family life, within like this protection road that you want to go after, this volunteer work or whatever it is. But there is this want for really, really close-knit friends, a really close network of people that you can trust. And I think that that is something that your soul is calling and yearning for, because you possibly didn't have that in the past, right? You had to break foundations, break these ideas. And what's interesting too, and I love that this entire deck has different cats in it, but in this specific one, like the cat's like cowering away, right? So you've had to constantly break relationships, in toxicity, or you just maybe were scared and were constantly breaking things, pushing things away, creating change because you didn't feel safe or comfortable, or maybe they were totally reasonable reasons, but it has made that harder for you to find those sorts of things. So your soul is really yearning for that. It doesn't just want the work effort work ethic put in. You want to attract people towards you that are really close and really important to you. The last things we're going to look at here are these two here. Like I said, we had the listen before you act and the look for the signs. This says 404 because that's a personal angel message that I get quite a lot. But here we are with those two. So see how these resonate as well with the rest of the reading. But I do see like a lot of the color of green and blue, which is telling me, and especially like your throat chakra. So if you work with energy centers within your body, your throat as well as your heart center are going to be really important in this lifetime, as they are, like I said, you want to communicate and attract people in, and as well advocate for people. So that's using your voice very outwardly, very projected, and you bring a voice to other people, right? You lift their voices. But because you've gone through these before where you had to cut people off or cut off a lot of ties with people, and you want these close-knit networks, to find that balance in this lifetime, or to find that balance within this soul purpose that you have right now, that listen before you act is really important in your heart center too. So you may feel like you want to speak really loudly for other people, but it's also important to find that balance between the two, right? So then you have the listen before you act, as well as look for these signs, as well as project your outward voice with the throat. And then also use your heart center, love and care with the messages that you bring, how you communicate. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your letter tiles and the charms, because I wanted to do a little bit more information here for you guys, but through those messages, because I do want to see more on the balancing side of it, maybe other things that you're being called towards, and also if we can get more information on the specifics of this card. So basically just telling the rest of my tools here what we're doing. So let's go ahead and start looking into your letter tiles. Okay. So we have quite a few here. We have D, G, E, A, T, see eat, like nourishment. Then we have N, E, R, M, and I. So more on the side of like advocating, we do have meat here. So that could be for animals or others. It doesn't necessarily have to be for people, but bringing a voice towards those who do not have a voice themselves. I also see neat, which is making me think that you may really, your soul's just in general, like on a very small sense, to find balance in your life. I think it's really important to find a more organized path to make sure to keep organization at the core of everything that you're doing, because I think that's going to help. We also have great, and it's almost got like doing great is what I'm seeing here too. I almost feel like you're being told in some way that you're doing great, you're doing a good job, which is just really wholesome to be seeing with these. And then I also see time, which again, like I said, I wasn't planning on doing a message that had anything to do with past lives or anything like that. But with our souls, sometimes we have these, the idea of the soul contract, which means sometimes in past lives we we put out boundaries, we put out ideas, we put out beliefs in those lifetimes that then carry over into our current soul's lifetime, and it continues in that cycle. And until we break those off in one of our lifetimes, that continues to cycle through them all. So I do think that time has a lot to do with this. Possibly it's just like I said, those previous lifetimes, these keep happening. You're ready to break that cycle. You're ready to bring a voice towards other people and a voice towards yourself as well, and empower people. I just see so much empowerment to give. And possibly that has a lot to do with time here. But I'm going to go ahead and move these, and we're going to go ahead and do your letter tiles. As always, like I said, really start to rearrange these, see and play with them, and let me know in the comments down below what you see. If there's specific like names, dates, places, anything like that, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on those. But we're going to go ahead and do the last little bit here with your charms and finish off your reading. If you have been liking it so far, though, please be sure to like the video. I really do appreciate it. But let's see. Okay. So I'm going to zoom you in while I sort through your charms here. So we have quite a few. We have the Tower showing up again as alongside magic. We have 2 different really magical routes. Ooh, that's really interesting with the soul contracts. I'll talk about that in a second. But I am going to pick up the ones that fell upside down and see what comes up there. Okay. So right off the bat, like I said, I wanted to talk about this little section here. So we have 4 different charms. I'll just pick them up so you can really see them here. But we have the rose-colored glasses charm. So this is like seeing things with rose-colored glasses. But then there's the Tower moment happening right next to it. This is manipulation. This is kind of like toxic energy. And you're ready to just like crumple that down, restart, refresh. And then we have magic next to it. So I think in this lifetime, like I said, you want to cut off that soul contract, that idea that you can't, your soul's like, you know, and these aren't like specifically written contracts. It's just like whenever you tell yourself enough in a soul's lifetime that this is how life is going to be, it's almost like it's imprinted into your soul. And in this case, we have this is like you breaking it, right? Like that's what I immediately thought when I saw this. This is like a break. This is a change. This is a shift in a magical nature, because this is a bead, but like the middle section has been kind of cut out of it, carved out. Like you're going to carve something new for yourself. So I really do see that you're ready to just shift this from this idea, and you're trying to shift that Tower moment of, destruction, and everything has to be this, and you have to put these rose-colored glasses on to see anything good again. I just think that you want to bring those voices towards other people and lift them, breathe the sunshine for other people, because you do have the sun showing up here, and then the charm of a lot of people involved. This represents being very social, a social butterfly, because it's like, for me, whenever I see these, a lot of people think of logic when they see a puzzle piece, but for me, I always thought of these as people when I was a little kid, like these little heads. So in this case, this is like all the people that are involved in this. And how, again, you want to turn a leaf and bring sunshine to other people. So you're getting like multiple messages of this, because it's obviously very important to your soul this time to shift, to change something. So if you're feeling really called towards that destructive side, called towards like whenever you get into a new relationship to just cut things off, you just want to cut all that stuff off. Your soul is ready to just move away from old habits, old ideas, old things, and you're ready to rebuild new. And that can come in a lot of different forms, obviously, but at the heart of it, that's what your soul wants. It wants to try out new things. It's like a new little kid that just wants to try things out. And then also with their previous knowledge, raise voices and be that sunshine for other people, bring clarity for other people with their experience. And I also don't think you want to be credited for it, because we do have the charm and you can hardly see it, but it's like this little invisible, I could think of it as the invisibility charm. And then you have the photographer charm. So I feel like you want to be behind the scenes, behind the camera. So whatever you're working on, you don't want to feel like you get all the credit for it. That's not the purpose. It's about helping other people, lifting those voices, or having that close-knit amount of friends, because you don't want to show off your friends, right? You don't want to show off your loved ones. The important part is that you are creating these memories, creating memories that are positive for other people, and creating a positive impact that they're going to remember for a long time. But it's not about you. Your ego isn't very present here. And then the last thing we have is, again, more social butterfly energy, and these two were kind of stuck together. This does represent an evolution, a level up, because you went from one butterfly to a bigger one. You've grown, you've become more wise. So you definitely want to continue learning and growing within your lifetime. And then we also have the charm of selflessness. So again, being behind the scenes. And then again, oh my gosh, you have so many synchronicities. It's insane. And then we have the charm of the breaking a cycle charm. So you're just breaking another cycle, something that's been going on a really long time, and you're ready to break that contract. So definitely take time to look at these charms and really see what you see from them, because the camera could mean something different for you, or whatever, vice versa. But the synchronicities are just so insane for your guys' pile, and I'm just loving it. So I really would love to know your guys' feedback down below and see how this really resonated for you. If this was not fully resonating, definitely check out the other 2 piles, since there were so many synchronicities. Maybe this just wasn't your pile, but if you're feeling called towards it, then this probably was. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that there for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like this video. Like I said, if you really did like it, I really do appreciate it. Also, if you would like to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. I do lots of different readings for spirituality, love, growth, career, and weekly and monthly messages. So you can definitely check those out. Also, I do private readings and snail mail readings that are really, really fun, and you can check those out down below. It's a great way for me to support you while you also support me. So I appreciate so much love that's come through those. And I think that's all, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose this piece of selenite, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set that right here for you so you can see it during your reading, as we are going to be looking to a lot of different things today, especially with your soul purpose. So definitely get settled, grab some water, some tea, a nice cup of hot chocolate, whatever really works for you. Grab a salad, a nice breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you're doing. Just feel free to get settled, really center your energy, because we are going to be diving into your soul's purpose, and that's a lot to dive into. So definitely get settled. We're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using several different oracle decks, which I'll have listed in the description below. And we're also going to be using the letter tiles, which I haven't brought out in a while. So these are going to look into names, dates, and places. And then we're also going to be using the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I just recently edged, and I'm so excited about it. It's got such a fun feel. So if you guys are settled, you're ready, feel free to start sending your energy in through time and space here so we can really connect to your soul and see what you have coming in. So what are you being called to right now? Because your soul is calling you to it. What little signs are you being given from your soul? Where are these little trinkets of information coming in? So group 2. What do we need to know about the soul purpose of group 2? Group 2. Okay, we have the 9 of Cups. First and foremost here, the 9 of Cups. Such a beautiful card. Definitely excited to see how this interacts with the rest of them, but it does talk about wish fulfillment, so there is some sort of like slightly magical element to it, or just in general, there's something you're yearning and wishing for like contentment. Also felt this one here. So we also have Justice. This one is number 11, in case that resonates. We have Justice showing up here. I love this one with the little cats. This does like have law here, so it does talk about like more analytical thinking more objectively. So we'll see how that connects with the rest of your dreams and wish fulfillment, because one is very like they're kind of different from each other, so I'm excited to see the bridge between them. And then we have the 7 of Wands. Wow. I'm getting like, obviously because it says law degree, like something about law or that kind of thing. But if that's not your sort of thing, it also can be, and this totally relates to pile number 1, but advocacy, but also advocacy for yourself is what I'm seeing. Where the first pile had a lot to do with like advocacy for others, I see it's like working on your boundaries for yourself, working on what the consequences for other people's actions. So I think that's something your soul is being called to work on and called to bring into this lifetime. But there is this idea of not wanting to feel cornered anymore. So let's see where that connects with the rest of your reading. So like I said, bring your energy in through time and space. And we'll really start looking in here even deeper. Group 2, their soul's purpose. What are they being called to right now within this time frame of like probably the next few months to a couple of years? Are they being really called to? What does their soul want to tell them, want to go towards? What are they yearning for? Group 2. Okay, so we have clarity. I love this one. It's got like a crystal ball vibe with all these colors. I'm also seeing reflections a lot too, so clarity and reflections, reflecting back on something. A lot of movement as well, like it's swirling. That's a really interesting card. It's giving off like a very mysterious energy. So let's see what else we have here for you. Group two. And as always, take time now to also look at your cards and see if there's specific messages that are really coming through with the imagery for yourself, and that goes for the rest of the reading too. See what really calls to your soul as well. There's little nuggets and trinkets, especially since this is a collective reading, that I think would really benefit you. We also have here the star. I love this one. It's about guidance, about moving yourself forward, about looking at something bigger than yourself. Also, this is giving me, and this is very specific to a few of you, especially if you've been called to this type of message before, but there is the idea of like your soul purpose being tied to like starseed energy almost because of different stars, and like your earth mission kind of thing. But we do have the 6 of Cups as well as the number 16 showing up here as well. So we have a few different numbers. We have 7, 9, 11, 6, and 16. Okay, that definitely adds also to the clarity card, and almost like, because we have this smaller moon, I want to see how those two connect, because this almost feels like the full moon, but then a start of something new. So we're going to get one more card here, and then we'll get your watercolor affirmation. So group two. Oof. We play. Ooh, I love that one for you guys. That one gave me like a shiver for whatever reason. So here we are with play. And there's this little ring of, like a circle of, I don't remember what the exact name for it, but the little mushroom circles. And then it says here, among the grass and wild violets lie undisturbed little secrets to uncover. Ooh, with that clarity and play and uncovering something. That is such a fun energy. Okay. Let's see what else you have coming in here from your soul. Do stay tuned, because we're going to pull you one of these, but we will be going into the charms and your letter tiles later on, which is going to give us a lot more clarity. So definitely stay tuned for that. Group two. Woo. Grow, evolve, and transform. Oh, and I threw this one back, but it like called back to me as well. So I'm going to take it back again. But we do have here seek to forgive, as well as grow, evolve, and transform. This is all about like that caterpillar to the butterfly stage, but then constantly leveling up and changing. And then we have the seek to forgive, which is definitely giving off vibes with this specific card. So I'm going to set that there, but let's go ahead and start diving into your reading here, group 2. So first off, I just want to talk about how much your soul feels so like, you know, when you have to be so mature for so long, I feel like your soul has had to be mature. It has had to, you've always constantly had to advocate for yourself or work towards yourself or work on your own. And I feel like you're a person that's very content with being by themselves. I think your soul is okay with being by yourself, whether that's romantically, platonically, or maybe you just don't really like other people or you're more introverted. There's just this idea of wanting to be by yourself. We have so many characters that just sort of are pushing people back, but looking towards something much bigger and greater than themselves. So I think whatever journey that your soul wants to set you on is one that is very much a solo mission or a solo purpose. Not that you can't have friends or you can't have family or can't have close relationships, but just that your soul, that's not something your soul is necessarily craving as much as some other things coming up here. These are more the bigger points that maybe you should shift your focus towards. But we do have play, so obviously you can do what you like because you do have this playful energy, and it's calling to me also with this 9 of Cups. Like I said, you're very content with being by yourself, you're very content with that, but you also do have this little playful cat in the corner going after this little crab, being very playful, being very fun, just being curious. I think your soul is very curious. It's very like and I know that doesn't like specifically direct you towards one specific thing, but I just think your soul is just yearning for playfulness, yearning towards playing with your maturity and using that as a tool to move you forward. So what I'm saying is, like, we always talk about inner child play, we talk about playfulness like with being young, but I do think there's something about wanting to bring more playfulness to your adult world, towards your mature world, towards your work life, towards, those bigger things, those corporate things, those things that feel stuffy to other people, but you want to bring playfulness to it. You want to bring another flip side to that, and make sure that it stays playful in your career, in your job, in the relationships that you have, all of those things. It's very important to you to bring play as an element, imagination, fantasy, romanticizing life. And with that, that might even bring relationships to you. We also do have that clarity card as well as justice. So like I said, some of you might be, like I said, that's where the mature side is coming in, is with that justice card. But this also does talk about previous consequences. That's what I see with the justice card, is like there's always a give and take to the actions that we make, right? And so you may have been making a lot of actions lately that have certain consequences that are bringing clarity of mind to you. We talk about consequences like they're always bad consequences, but sometimes we have really beautiful positive ones that are coming in. And because of everything here, I do think that it's bringing a lot of clarity to your life. But for those of you who feel like it was maybe a more negative consequence, I do think it might have something about needing to forgive someone or forgive yourself for how a situation maybe has gone on more recently. And this can be within like the more recent past of like the last couple of years is what I'm hearing. So this could have been a relationship, something that just doesn't feel like it has closure. And I think your soul wants closure with someone or some situation. So this could be a relationship platonically or with a friend, or like with your family member, or it can also be a romantic relationship, however that resonates for you. Like I said, within like the last 2 years is what I'm kind of getting here. But I think there is like something that needs to be cleared up. Now that you've had time to really look at the situation from farther away, there is something about needing to clear it up. So this also could be with a career path that you went on, a project that you started that just didn't go well, but there's something about needing to always, like, you were pushing back, you're constantly pushing back this person or pushing back these thoughts or pushing it back. And there's something about needing to heal from that, needing to find clarity from that, or needing to forgive yourself or forgive another person for how a situation went, now that there's more clarity there. And also with that too, I do think that also seeking out play, you also are looking at like, I feel like you guys are clairvoyant, or maybe you're very, like I said, there's sort of like a witchier woo-woo side of this specific one that's giving me like the idea that your soul is interested in divination, crystal balls, interested in finding clarity in that way. I think that you have sort of a witchier element to you, or has like a starseed energy too. So some of you may be starseeds. I personally don't find myself to be a starseed. I feel like I'm very much like an earth person, but some of you, if you've ever felt like I said, you're very good on your own. A lot of people who are starseeds that I've learned and read about, I feel like a lot of them tend to say that they are on this earth for a specific mission or some specific thing on a global level or something much bigger than themselves. But then I also see it as them also not feeling super connected to the earth, or not feeling super connected to this world, like they feel like they've come from somewhere else, and that may be amongst the stars. So that may also be a specific message for some of you. And also, I feel like I keep saying also a lot for you guys. They're just like flowing everywhere. I can't say the messages fast enough. So I said earlier that there was like this little moon, but it was only just at the very beginning crescent. And this is like that full clarity. So you're definitely still at the very beginning of whatever this is that you're seeking out, whatever your soul's after. This is still like, you still have a very young soul is what I'm saying. Like, if you believe in past lifetimes, this is a very young soul. You haven't gone through a ton of lifetimes. So you're still playing, you're still at that playful stage. It may manifest different in terms of like the maturity in this specific earthly world, but I do see that you want to play, you want to grow, you want to transform, because you're like a little kid, and your soul is like a little kid, and it wants to grow and transform. It's like that little kid that's like 10, and it's like, I can't wait until I'm 18. And the wiser people might tell you to like, you probably could wait. It's fine. Enjoy your childhood. But this is like your soul's childhood. So you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to make it all perfect, but you're learning those consequences. You're walking those steps. And when you fall, you know that you can get back up and you're learning how to walk, how to grow, how to crawl, how to do those small little baby steps. And I think you're doing it in such a beautiful stride. So definitely keep going after that clarity, keep going after that space that you're looking for, and to forgive other people because you're learning how to forgive, right? There's so many lessons I feel like you're going to learn in this lifetime, and your soul's being called to just keep trying, keep playing, keep imagining what this life and this world could be for you. You know, you're such a magical spark of wish fulfillment, and like you could just conquer anything. And I think that you definitely don't lose that. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your charms and letter tiles, because I've been talking on your cards for quite a while here, and I want to see more. So let's see any names, dates, or places coming in here for you. Group 2. Okay. Oh my gosh, I just heard, but I saw, let go when I first saw that. I don't know exactly how I got that. I guess there's the go and the let, but we have we, with W-E, we have T-E-T-G-O, T, you have so many T's, J, N, and A. So feel free to see how these scramble up for you. But I did see, like I said, like let go energy. You have 3 different T's, so that may resonate for some of you on a very specific level. Maybe it's a specific name, date, place that's really calling to you. I do see go, so there's like this idea of wanting movement, and you know, your body's like wanting to play in that way. Like there's some sort of like body movement that you're really excited about, or you want to play in this lifetime. Dancing, running, a sport, more mature activities, things like that. I just think that you want to go use your body. And I think your body is very connected to your soul. Sometimes there's that disconnect, but I think that you're really connected there, possibly even with your soul mission or whatever's coming in with that guidance with the star, especially since the star card in tarot tends to have like a more nude person on a little beach kind of, and so that's just showing me more energy of something about body. Like I think that your body is very important and very tied to your soul mission. I also see 10 here, so that's another specific date or a specific year possibly. I also see no showing up here, so I think almost like no-go. It's making me think too that you, with that 7, with that forgiveness, I feel like, you know, if you're at such a young soul age, I feel like you're it makes me think like a kid that just constantly is saying no to their parents. You know, they don't want to forgive, they don't want to say sorry, or they don't want to really reflect on the situation. They just want to be like no and then done and move on, right? No. And I feel like that's like your magic word, and I think that's also a very empowering word when you use it on a more mature level. Very empowering word. So definitely use no when you need to, but also no when you reflect back. And use that to your advantage for forgiveness. And then I also see age, almost like age isn't a number for you guys. So no matter your age, you're also going to constantly know age, right? So I just feel like you're the kind of person that is just very timeless. You're a type of person that when people meet you, I feel like they just know that you're very timeless because your soul just is very playful, it's very young, but it also has that mature element, so people can't like pinpoint you. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of your charms and see where more of the soul's calling is, as this one gave us more just like detailed information on what your soul kind of is leaning towards. But like I said, feel free to play around with these, and also feel free to give this video a like if you're already liking it so much. I really do appreciate that. But let's go ahead and see your charms. So group 2. Okay. Okay. Lots of silver charms. Interesting. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can start looking around a little bit. I may not touch on every single charm here because we are running out of time for your pile. We do have best friends heading towards the waning moon. So again, like I said, there's this idea of wanting to be your own best friend. You don't always need someone else. You don't want to lean on someone else. You're very content with being by yourself as well as with others, but like you don't need anyone to bring you forward. We also have two different zodiac charms here of Sagittarius and Virgo. So Virgo is what showed up upright, as this one just tells us the optimism of Sagittarius. So there is something showing up there of like maybe you're an earth sign who is very optimistic about life, and that your soul is constantly feeling very optimistic about the choices that you are making as well. So that's really cool. Then we also have the pop the button charm. I always think of this as like someone, like I personally had this when I was a kid, and this was like a pair of jeans that I just did not fit in anymore, but I kept trying to wear them, and then the button popped. So this is about needing to release something or move on just because you've been in a relationship with someone for a really long time, or just because you have some sort of element of loyalty towards someone does not mean they're always good for you, because we do have the commitment charm right underneath it with the ring here. So I do feel like there is someone or something in your life that you are currently very committed to, but you know it isn't good for you. You know you've outgrown those pairs of shoes. They're worn out. You're ready for a new pair, right? So this is like you just needing to decide to move on, to forgive yourself, to move on towards something new so you can bring new opportunities towards you, and your soul is calling you to start to make those changes, because we do have the transformation charm and the turn of a new leaf. So there is something about needing to refresh, cut ties with people or situations that just aren't serving you anymore because there's too many in your space. Ooh, we also have the outer space charm. So again, some of you guys are very connected to the cosmos. If you aren't feeling like starseed energy, then you definitely have sort of an energy of like very connected to the moon, to the sun, to looking at the cosmos. Maybe you're really interested, or you're being very called towards astrology possibly. Maybe some of you are very interested in that type of science, right? And you want to bring play in that way. Maybe you're very interested, like I said, analytical at the very beginning. So I feel like some of you might, and this might be a very specific few of you, but you might just be really interested in science or going to space or, like that kind of thing. There is like an energized kind of energy. We have a whole little group here clustered together, a whole little cluster of the path less traveled by charm. So this is about everyone else takes one path, but you're going to take the other, and it's going to be and I think it's funny that none of them fell on this side. So all on the side that is less traveled, you're wanting, and you're being called on a path that maybe you're like, wow, maybe I shouldn't do that. Not everybody's doing it, or I don't know if that's good for me. I don't have anyone around me to give me any pointers or experience for. But it is next to the career chain, so I feel like it's something tied to your career. But we do have the silver lining, so it is going to be something that is going to be positive in the end, and it's going to bring you a lot of energy, a lot of refresh. I always think of the peppermint charm as like peppermint candy, but also like when you're brushing your teeth, you have that like peppermint toothpaste. So this is about like cleaning and cleansing. So again, more energy of like you need to take a new path that has to do with your career, because it's just sort of weighing you down at the moment, and you want something that's going to have more like an outer space, something that gives you more space, that maybe even has to do with space. And it's going to be very unique to you, because we do have the wildflowers charm. So wildflowers, they'll grow and be planted anywhere and can succeed. So your soul knows you can do this, and knows that you have it in you. It's very optimistic. It's also very playful. But I do think that it's calling you to take the path less traveled by, as are possibly spirit guides around you. And then over here next to romantic relationships, we don't really have anything showing up here. So it's definitely not your focus right now. Your focus is not on romantic relationships. Although that doesn't mean that they aren't in your life, but your soul isn't at least looking at it. Your conscious mind might be, but your soul isn't like that's the thing I need to head after. So as always, feel free to see how these charms are really correlating to you and the different messages that we've gone through here, and let me know in the comments down below how they resonated. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And as I close off this reading, also please be sure to give this video a like if you really did enjoy this reading. It really helps out a ton, and I appreciate it so much. If you would also like to get a private reading, I have snail mail readings that you can check out down below. It's a great way for me to support you as well as support myself in the process. You can also subscribe if you'd like to see more readings like this one, or career, or magic, or other kinds of fun related videos. And with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Group 3. If you've decided to choose this little cave or geode of these clusters of crystal quartz, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set that down right here for you so you can see it during your reading here today, as we're going to be really diving into your soul's purpose, your soul's mission, your soul's calling at this time. And this is going to be within like the next couple of years, like I've mentioned, so it's not something that's set in stone. Your soul's constantly able to change and moldable. It's not something that's so specific to your whole life, you know what I mean? So we're going to be looking into these next few years, what you're being called towards, what your mission is there, using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using several different oracle decks, which I'll have listed down below, and then also the letter tiles here to see names, dates, and places. And we're also going to be using the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I just recently edged and am so in love with. It's got such a witchy vibe. So feel free to get settled, grab some tea, a cozy blanket, some nice pajamas, some food to eat. Some of you even have said that you work out during watching these, so kudos to you guys. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and start getting settled, so feel free to send your energy in through time and space here so we can really latch on to that soul energy. So group 3, what do you guys have in store here for us today? What do we have to look at here, group 3, for your soul mission, your soul's purpose? What are you being called to right now? What little signs and energies are being brought in from your soul? So group 3 here. Group 3. So we have the Empress. Ooh, such a beautiful energy here with the Empress. It doesn't want to focus for whatever reason today. So here we are. This is also number 3, in case that resonates for some of you. Got such a obviously fertility, and that can be beyond just like creating a family or having a baby or something like that. It also, although it may resonate for some of you and see how it does, but it also can be just talking about like bringing fertility to your ideas, really fertilizing things, planning things that are going to be long term. So let's see what else there is coming in here for you, group 3. Interesting that you got number 3 for group 3. So there's definitely a 3-3 element here, 33. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely some slower energy, slow down energy. Your soul is not in a rush. That's what I'm getting right here, right off the bat. I just feel like your soul is ready to settle down in these next couple of months. Really settle down either with a family or literally just settle down into whatever this goal is that we're heading after, whatever this calling is. So group 3, what do we have? All right, so the last 2 cards that I pulled here kind of came in a little group. So we have the number 4 showing up as well as 7. So we have the 7 of Swords, a bit of sneaky, risky energy, very different from the other energy we're getting here. So it feels more like a clash to me. And then we have the Emperor, very stable energy. And I definitely want to talk about when we get farther into this reading how each of these people are really holding something. One's holding a cake, one's holding, 2 of them are holding like these staves, obviously because we have the Emperor. I just realized, yeah, you have the Emperor and the Empress. Wow, that's such a beautiful energy to have coming in. That talks even more on family, on marriage, on bringing together some sort of energy there. So for some of you, it really is family or some sort of like chosen family or bringing people together. We're going to talk more on it in a minute. I'm definitely getting ahead of myself, but let's see what else you have coming in. Group 3 here. Group 3. Still love that you got those two together. Oh, and commitment. Wow, what a beautiful energy. And because we have the Emperor and the Empress, I do want to stress, just because we do have a more masculine figure here and a more feminine figure, and they can even talk about the masculine and divine feminine. Take that how it resonates for you, because that doesn't necessarily mean only, a sort of man and a woman kind of relationship here. That could be all sorts of different types of genders and sexualities here. So definitely don't have that as a put off, but it is there for some of you, very strongly. And because we do have the 3 here with the Empress, I feel like for me, this is a signifier card of you. And not necessarily that you have to be more feminine for this to be the case, but there is something about the divine feminine energy, quote unquote, the more fluid, giving, but very strong energy that's coming in here that makes me feel like that is more you in this case, and that you're looking for an equal part. Like your other side, your other half in this case. So we're going to go ahead and look into more here. It's just so wholesome so far, your guys' pile. Let me know how it's resonating down below so far. And if you guys are enjoying this already, feel free to like the video. I really do appreciate those who have done so far. We do have more 7 energy. So this is really interesting. We have this clash coming in, which we'll talk about here in a moment. And we also have the number 7, as well as the Queen of Wands, which is very fiery, slightly gossipy energy, and the Snake. Ooh, okay. So let's go ahead and get one more message or 2 more messages here, and then we'll look into that even further. I'm so curious to see what starts coming in there with that 7-7 energy. But group 3. Here we are with forgiveness. This came up also in pile number 2, so that may resonate for some of you if you feel really called to this card. I feel like I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. We have a crushed flower still gives off a sweet scent. So there we are with forgiveness. So there is something about forgiveness. Wow. This is such a special energy, and it's getting more complex as we go. So we're going to see a little bit more information here with the watercolor affirmations. So group 3. What do we need to know about the soul's purpose of group 3? Group 3. Okay. And as we go into these, do stay tuned later on, because we will be going into the charms and the letter tiles. But we're going to go through these first. So we have build healthy habits, as well as mindset is key. So there is something about wanting on just like a smaller soul level, right? We always talk about really big soul things that our soul wants, but it could just be within your soul, your normal everyday goals of wanting to maybe get fit, or wanting to work with your body in some way and maybe more fluid motion. And then something about using your body and your mind together versus so separately. There was like this, I felt like there was this separation there, and it's like bridging that gap back together. So changing your mindset about your body, possibly body positivity, body neutrality. There is something there, a cute little hidden message there for you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and start diving in here. There's so much to dive into, and I'm trying to figure out where we want to start. So we have here this idea of forgiveness, and I'm going to let's go ahead and start with these 7s. Let's get those out of the way. So we have forgiveness showing up here, as well as the Queen of Wands and this 7 of Swords energy. And with the 7 of Swords, as well as the Snake, it talks about someone ready to attack, but in sort of a more devious way. And some people might see this as someone stealing. They came in the window, they want to steal these goods. So there's something about stealing or sneakily being very sneaky, and then also feeling like you're attacking, or you're possibly like creating some hostility there. And then there's like forgiveness. So this is just all together giving me this type of energy that you've possibly gone through a past relationship with, and relationships aren't just platonic, romantic, or familial. They can also be relationships with yourself. Like I said, you've been attacking your body, you want to be more committed to your body neutrality. But I also see this idea of like there's something that you're trying to hide about yourself, and it's very like it's attacking you. It's really like vicious at you. Maybe you've just had to like hide a piece of yourself for a really long time, or you've been having to really just hold something back, and your soul feels that it has to carry and bear that weight every day and hold on to it, and it's just really heavy. I just feel like this room is so heavy with your guys' energy, and it's just telling me that like maybe this happened in the past and you know exactly what this is, but it is giving me the energy that like you're almost sabotaging the good that can come into your life, that your soul is calling you towards all this beautiful good, because you either want something, you want the fast pass in life, right? You're trying to sneak, you're trying to get something faster, you're trying to make something happen, you're cutting the line. Or in terms of relationships, it could have been possible miscommunication, toxic relationships, things that just went awry in relationships in terms of communication, lies, hidden truths, that kind of stuff. That's made you more wary of relationships, made you more wary of how you could respond in a relationship, how a relationship could, work for you. And that could be, like I said, a relationship to your career, relationship to yourself, relationship to other people. See which one really grabs at you and pulls you. You probably know what this is, but it's really there, and it's very heavy, and it's weighing on your soul right now. There's just such a weight. And I feel like to relieve that weight, it just has a lot to do with allowing yourself what you truly want, what you're feeling called towards, because I think you're sabotaging that good, that idea of committing yourself to this new relationship, committing yourself to the good that can come into your life, right? We have the Empress and the Emperor together, and then next to it, we also have that commitment. How beautiful. There's this idea of a family, this idea of chosen family, this idea of being able to create something from nothing is also what I'm getting here too, is that maybe you've come from nothing and you just feel like you don't deserve everything, or you have to steal, or you have to, really find the scraps for everything that you've ever got. But there's also so much good that can come into your life in terms of this King of Pentacles that talks about the idea that you can have anything that you put your heart out to. And I know that's obviously easier said than done, is a mindset, but the idea that you can just telling yourself that you can have these things is going to create such a mindset change for you, that you can have the cake, you can have the dog, you can have the family, you can have the career, you can have that thing, you can have it. It's totally available to you, but you don't have to steal it, you don't have to sneak around for it, you don't have to sabotage it. And you can forgive yourself, because this is waiting for you. This is something your soul is really feeling called towards in this lifetime. And that is to have a family, to create something out of nothing, right? That could be a new business, create some sort of commitment for yourself, committing yourself to something, because I think there is this fear of commitment, this fear that you can't have it. But it is there, it is available to you. And that's something that I think your soul is really calling you to work on at this time, because it wants you to be able to have this beautiful relationship come in, a beautiful relationship with someone else, and being more in flow. Like I said, I feel like you guys are more this Empress energy of feeling more in flow with yourself, feeling like the wind isn't going to topple you over, feeling like you are very strong and much stronger than you think. And I don't mean strong as in like strength. I mean like you are emotionally strong. You are strong enough to withstand something because you allow your emotions to flow through you versus to flow against you, or you're having to go against that river current, because that's the against energy you used to have, or the against energy you currently have. But you're wanting to change that mindset. Your soul is ready for this shift. It just has to do with your active participation too. That's how that commitment comes in. And then also with the King of Pentacles too, it does showcase, like I said, this idea of abundance. So there is this idea too that like you really can truly get whatever you want, but it is going to take time. We talked about that at the very beginning too, is that anything that you're wanting to create is going to take time, right? To create an entire baby takes 9 months. So it's going to take time. This maybe is something that's going to happen with 9 months. That's where that shift is going to start occurring. But I also just see that it's just the idea that you feel like it needs to happen right away, and it's going to take time, whatever this new relationship is, a relationship with your body, relationship with the goals that you have. Like I said, this is very general because it is such a collective reading, but whatever it is, the heart of what your soul wants is commitment to this new thing that you're wanting to bridge together. A relationship with yourself, relationship with your career, relationship with your body, relationship with someone else. There's an opportunity for it to grow and to flourish because your soul feels called towards it. But there is that need to forgive yourself, to not take the fast lane, and to not attack everyone or sabotage everything so that you can't have it, you know? So we're going to dive even deeper here. Let's go ahead and start heading into the rest of the reading here with your charms and your letter tiles here first. So let's see what there is in those, what little nuggets of information we can find here. So group three. Ooh, bit of mystery here with all of them falling upside down. So we have I, C, P. So I'm seeing like PC or C. What was I trying to say? PC is making me think of like a internet connection or something like that, an internet connection that's been lost. So if you guys believe in like downloads from the universe, I feel like there's something about like a disconnect there. So definitely be looking for signs and signals from your guides if that's something that resonates for you. We also have I, B, B, A, and N. We do have BA, which is making me think of a bachelor's degree. So I feel like you guys are definitely, could be a new relationship in that way that you want to learn. There's something in learning, especially something that has to do with possibly the environment, because we had that King of Pentacles, which makes me think environment, business, working with your hands, trade jobs possibly, because we do have this digital world, but I think you want to work with your hands. I think you want to really tangibly get dirty in something, because I feel like this is the world you're living in, right? You're living in this idea of like everything's the fast lane, and you want to take it slower, or at least you're being called to take it more slowly because that's what your soul is asking for. We also have band showing up here, and also pan, which is making me think of like either pansexual, or is also making me think of like Peter Pan for some reason, as well as like Tangled. It made me think of the like Pan and Tangled. So there's a few different like more Disney references or something like that. So a younger, more playful energy that definitely could resonate with pile number 2 if that's something that you're feeling very called to. We also had the I and the B. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on the side, but definitely do take a good little gander at them, check them out, see what there is there for you. And that goes for the entire reading as well. And see if you get specific little nuggets of information that you may not have without the reading, or that I may have missed here that's very personal to you. So group 3. Oof. That was a big one. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up some of these. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Ooh, we have the 4 in the center. So again, you're being very called to that 4 energy. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in so you can see everything that's showing up here. And the reason why I say again to that 4 energy is, like I said, you're looking for a commitment with someone. And both the King of Pentacles and the Emperor have sort of a 4 energy. This is 14 and this is 4. So there is something about being called towards this very stable person in your life. The Emperor is someone who is kind of got this leadership role. They have a lot of power, but not overpowering or overbearing. There's also, they're very good with business, or they're very good with their money, their finances. They take the slower path. I think you're being called towards either this energy or this type of person in your life. So that's really, really cool that you got that 4 showing up here. But then we have the bottled up charm. So again, there's all this idea that you keep like bottling things away. And something that's interesting too about the 7 of Swords is usually you're only able to carry so much. And there's something that you have to leave behind. Evidence, you have to leave behind something because you can't carry it all. Because you're just, you have all these beautiful opportunities that you could be taking, right, on the wall. But instead of taking that commitment that's kind of on the wall, instead you're kind of bottling it all together. And at one point this is going to, be too full to hold, to handle. So you're definitely being called right now to cleanse that space in yourself that is telling you that you can't have what you want, because you can have it. It's going to take work. It's going to take effort. It's going to take changing your mindset for sure. Possibly using law of attraction, or just using affirmations in the mirror, or talking to yourself using language that showcases the types of opportunities that you're wanting and to manifest forward. There's so much that you can use with your mindset. So definitely look into that, because there is this idea of rigidity, this idea of like you can't have it. We have like the X's or O's charm, and you have the O. This is like the black hole. So you feel like anything that comes near you is just going to get sucked in and then blown out, blown to pieces. It just doesn't, everything feels really fast, and then it's just like gone in the next instant, either because of you or this belief that you're holding on to, possibly from a past soul contract, that you just can't have this. But you can. We also have, again, sort of this soul contract breaking charm. So this was also came out in pile number 1. And this is about breaking like a soul contract, breaking something, shifting a perspective. So we have, if you're under the belief that we come from multiple souls, there's reincarnation, or there's this idea that something's happened in your previous lives. This is like you made a decision, or you had this really strong belief in that life, and it's carried over to this one, and you're ready to break that. Maybe it's come from your ancestors, maybe it's come from yourself, but there is something about needing to break that soul contract. And that's about this mindset that I feel like every single time you get into a new relationship with someone, with something, with yourself, you're ready to just topple that down, like you can't have it. But you're ready for a refresh, because we have innocence here, which talks about, going back to the beginning, going back to the basics, getting more playful. And then we have the move ahead charms. This is about staying on the path instead of deviating towards the left or towards the right, or changing your perspective very quickly and suddenly because you feel like you can't have it. There is the reflection charm as well. So you're ready to reflect. Your body wants you to look back at these or your soul wants you to look back at these relationships you had and try to figure out why, really inspect it. Change that mindset is going to take inspecting previous things that have happened in the past, so that you can start to shift all of those perspectives forward, start to see the connections where things weren't going right, where they weren't heading towards what your soul actually wanted. Your soul told you to go left and you went right because you felt like if you went left, it was scarier to succeed than it was to stay where things don't work. You know what I mean? And your body is just, or your soul, I keep saying body for some reason, your soul is wanting to shift that. It's wanting to cut that contract, wanting to cut that belief. And maybe it's even a belief that's been projected onto you, but it's definitely something that you are ready to shift and ready to move forward on. So with all of that said, group 3 here, I hope you enjoyed this reading here with me. I really do hope it gave you the information that you were looking for. And if you're interested in looking even deeper into this subject, or into your soul's purpose, your soul's calling, or other fun types of readings on magic, on career, on monthly readings, timeless readings, other kinds of stuff, I have a ton of things on my channel here that you can check out, so feel free to subscribe. But you can also get a private reading from me as well, where we really dive into exactly what you're looking for in a snail mail reading. So if that's something that interests you, that'll be down below as well. Also, please be sure to like this video, like I said, if you really did like this reading, and also that you comment down below letting me know how this resonated for you. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I'd love to have that conversation with you guys, and I love to see how the little personal little moments happen within these. So feel free to let me know, feel free to like, feel free to check out all of the different things I have on this channel, as well as the snail mail readings. And I think I've hit all the points I wanted to say. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.